Live from the Masters Watch headquarters in Fargo, North Dakota. Another episode of the Sweet Shots podcast. Lucas Johnson alongside Mark Johnson and Chuck Johnson. No, we are not live from the Masters, unfortunately. That would have been
next year.
A little too good. But
we just need to plan for it.
We need to plan for it. Mm-hmm. Well, we all got the invites, but we just didn't fit in the schedule. So we'll...
I can go.
I'm working on it.
I'm
working on it.
I got my entry pass.
Yeah, you do.
No, we're prepped and ready for this week. I think this is my favorite week of the year. I think just from a pure golf standpoint, I think it kind of transcends all the other weeks, and we're queued up here at Sweet Shots to have ourselves a great watch time this week.
Should be fun.
Should be a great time.
I know exec chef Aaron Marty's working on some Masters food, cheese sandwiches. Pimento cheese, yep. Maybe
Authentic.
some egg salad sandwiches.
Yes.
As well. And then some specials, cocktails to also go along with that. So,
I mean, if you can't get down to Augusta, Sweet Shots is going to be your place to be. We're going to have, and I know this for a fact, I'll personally guarantee it, we're going to have every stream that you can find on the Masters app we will have playing in the lounge.
Yep.
We've got 16 TVs for a reason.
Yep.
We're able to get every stream. We'll get live on the range. We'll get featured groups. We'll get featured holes. We'll get the main streams. Amen Corner.
Yep.
We got it all. I don't know many other places doing that.
And out on the tee line as you're hitting, if you're hitting shots there or in the Sims, you can tee up that TV to whatever feed you want.
Whatever one. Yep.
We'll have it.
We got it. And so it turned into a little bit of an ad of what we're doing here at Sweet Shots, but it's going to be an awesome time, and it just goes along with the week of the Masters. And I know we were kind of talking before we went live, we've all had an experience with or at the Masters. And so diving into that, I mean, it's been a long time coming, I think, for this show. We missed it just barely after our first year opening up, and here we are, gents, getting into some of the Masters. So let's dive right in. What would be? I'm going to jump off the deep end here.
Okay.
Let's go. Favorite Masters memory that you've had in your experience, whether you're at the Masters or just watching the Masters. What would be your favorite Masters memory? I'll start. I'll give you guys. I kind of threw that one at you, so I'll start. Personally, and it kind of ties into my first Masters memory. Would be the 2005 Masters when Tiger Woods won.
Okay.
That was 2005.
16th hole?
16th hole. We were standing, it was standing in the pro shop of the Meadows watching. It was you and me, Mark, and Brian Bay. And I remember before Tiger Woods on the 16th hole hit his chip shot from a virtually impossible spot, Brian Bay had mentioned that he had $100 on Tiger Woods to win the Masters. And I'm 6 years old at the time, and I didn't know what that meant.
Sure.
But Tiger hits his chip. It hangs on the edge for whatever. I mean, it seems like an eternity. And the place goes crazy. We're going crazy. Oh, my gosh, he made it. Oh, my goodness. And I turned to Brian Bay, I think, and I asked him, so do you get your $100? No, he said, no, not yet. But that was my first Masters memory. I think that was one of my favorites just from pure enjoyment.
Yeah.
The excitement that came from it. And as a kid experiencing that, it really kind of jump-started my love for the event. It showed, Tiger's emotion was incredible there. And just, I keep watching the clip over and over again. That ball hangs on the ledge forever.
Yeah,
that's great.
Made for TV. It was like a commercial for Nike.
Yep.
Right? The ball's just sitting there and the logo starts appearing.
Right.
And then it stops or whatever, and then it drops in.
Yeah.
It was a vital moment of the tournament.
I know.
And that is one of the best Masters memories ever. Yeah, for sure.
That's pretty good.
I've got a couple.
Okay.
Quick, can I do?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to do one being there and then one on TV.
Yep.
So much like you, look, the 86 Masters, Jack wins that picture of him right here.
Right here.
My favorite week of the year, golf-wise.
He's our first guest of the
Jack's our first guest. And that's a signed Nicklaus piece. He's raising his putter after I forget the announcer now. Goes, yes, sir. Just perfect timing.
Yes, sir.
The basketball guy that sits in and does the Masters forever.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe I forgot his name. Anyways, that was on the 17th hole. And Jack shoots 30 on the back nine with a bogey on 12. But that was my first memory. I was watching it with our dad, Chuck, and it was like, what? This is unbelievable. Jack Nicklaus at 46, which seemed ancient at the time. Now you have 46-year-olds. Some of them still playing at a very, very high level.
Vern Lundquist.
Lundquist. Anyways, so that was a memory that just motivated me. Great. I mean, I got up the rest of that spring. I got up early before high school and went and hit balls and chipped and putted before I went to school, and then had practice after school. So that was a big motivator. But in person, a lot of memories. Been there a number of times. But I was fortunate to watch the greats tee off. You know, when they start the tournament, and I saw Gene Sarazen.
Oh boy.
Byron Nelson and Sam Snead.
Wow.
Sam Snead?
Those three hit tee balls.
Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive.
And Gene Sarazen, of course, hit the shot heard round the world back in the early part of this tournament in the 20s.
It was a
where
double eagle, right?
Yeah,
on 15, I think.
On 15.
Yeah.
And so to watch him, and he was very, very much up in age, and he made this little swing, and the ball went out there about 80, 90 yards, and everybody just roared. And then Byron Nelson, of course, one of the best golf swings, one of, prolific winners on tour. I think Tiger finally beat his number of tour wins. Just had an ability to swing the golf club. He hit it all right. It seemed like it maybe went out there 170 yards. Nice little shot.
Fairway finder.
Yep. And then Sam Snead. I don't know. We could do the math. It was 1998 when I was there. Sam Snead ripped it.
Did he really?
Yeah, he hit it really good, which he got it up to the top of the hill, even with the bunker. Wow. Now, the tee was forward where it is now on one, but he hit it pretty good. And he went and finished his round. So he as I remember, he played.
Oh, wow.
That round.
Okay.
9 holes or whatever. Cool. So, Sam Snead went and finished that round. So that's
great
probably, it's cool. A pretty neat memory because I think that was the last year the three of them hit the shots because Mr. Sarazen may have passed shortly after that. So those are my memories.
That's pretty special.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Really good memories there. Chuck.
Well, like Mark, I'll do two. One, being present the one time at Augusta, and then one not there. I was also going to say 86, but I think for me, this tournament was always something that I would watch with my dad, our father, Mark, and your grandpa. He always enjoyed watching golf, but when it came to Augusta and it came to the Masters, he loved sitting there watching that. And it was that tradition of sitting and watching, especially on the weekend. From the very beginning to the end of the tournament, Dad and I would watch that together. And so, love that moment. Being present, I was fortunate where my big brother took me there once, kind of on a whim. It was a short notice deal, and we had Bobby Bye join us. Just an epic trip. Went for a practice round. Must have been Wednesday. It was a Wednesday because we got to see par 3.
Yeah. Yep.
And as a fan of the game of golf and the event, I underestimated or appreciated maybe the grounds and how beautiful it really is. And until you're there and you see the slope, the changes, the fairway up to these greens, you don't really understand how good these guys are and how tough of a course it is. We had a blast. It was a long day. In typical Mark fashion, we had to be there. One of the first groups there at the gate to get in.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the last groups off. And Mark he's like, okay, guys, we're going to be the farthest point away from the exit at the time where they say, patrons, you got to get off. And I think we were down at Amen Corner.
Yeah.
Enjoying 11, 12. And I remember guys came up and we're watching the mowers. They're like, hey, guys, time for you guys to head out. Yep. I think we might have been the last. The Golf Channel is doing their broadcast at the end of the show, and us knuckleheads are finally getting off the course.
Certain things I get goofy about, and I have been the first patron on the grounds, like the first person through that gate. Mark Holm and I, golf professional from BA, We have been the first two through that gate, and I think
We were
I've
one of the
been
last.
the last.
Yep.
The
That's
last
pretty cool.
out of there. Yeah.
So I'm going to jump in real quick because having been there, I'll throw in my story from having been there as well. And I know my experience was with you, Mark. We went, and then we were able to go with your dad, grandpa, and grandma, and that was special. We were able to go Monday, Tuesday, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
And Tuesday's experience, Monday we spent with grandma and grandpa. That was awesome. That was my first introduction to it all. We took the day, saw the course, and then we did the classic last man off kind of deal. I think grandpa even might have made friends with one of the security guys that were trying
That
to get us
sounds
out
about
of
right.
there.
I've got other stories about that.
And it was
yeah.
I think we were on hole 13. We snuck under the ropes to take a picture.
Yep.
And so that was fantastic. And then Tuesday, I didn't have a ticket, and we were fortunate enough. Father son looked like they couldn't make it in, and they gifted a ticket to us.
They were going in. They had an extra ticket.
Oh, is that what it
Yep.
was? I forget what it was.
Nice.
Very nice.
So fortunate to get in, and then big Rory McIlroy fan. So I waited 2.5 hours to get his autograph. So getting to meet Rory was super cool.
Well, the nuance of meeting Rory, though, was the fact that we were down on Amen Corner, number 12,
Yep.
the lowest spot on the golf course.
We were watching Phil and Ricky.
And
at
it
that time.
is a haul to get back up to the driving range. And we heard that Rory was on the
Well,
driving
they had
range.
the signs at the
that-
Amen Corner, like the spot down
Okay.
there, the meeting card, and then it says like on the range. And we were keeping an eye on that. And then they slid in there Rory McIlroy, and it was bam. All right, let's go. We're out of here.
We walked
Because you can't run.
speed walk. You cannot run at the
No
Masters. I would like to, if there's somebody that's walked quicker than you and I have from the Amen Corner up
There's
to the
no
range.
chance.
I mean, we hauled.
People don't understand this because we've always joked growing up that Mark has two kinds of walks. He's got his everyday walk,
Yep.
and then he's got his Masters walk.
Mhm.
And when he breaks out his Masters walk, yes, it's not a run,
Look
but
out.
very few people can keep up with him.
Correct.
Yeah. Larry Murphy has said there's been marshals. He's seen me at Augusta where these marshals start saying no running, and then they realize I'm actually still walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did, and I learned a lot.
So they don't say anything.
I learned a lot in that walk because I think you mentioned it, where pick your line and don't move. Make other people move around you. You
Yeah,
got to
there's
be. You got to
Well,
be
he's an old
decisive.
fullback.
Well, but if you
True. Yeah, you need
You're
2
good.
yards. I'm going to get you 3.
Yeah,
you
there
need
you go.
4 yards. I'm going to get you 3.
but it's one of those deals where it's like you gotta be the, because if you spend the extra seconds dancing with someone in the middle
Forget
of
it.
7 fairway,
Yeah.
I wanted to write a how-to pamphlet on to attend the Masters, from viewing locations to maximize.
You should.
You know, if you have a guest, if you have someone with you that's maybe not mobile and can't walk, okay, here's where you go.
here's a spot.
If you guys are sprinters and you want to do this, I mean, there are nuances of enjoying your
Well,
Masters experience.
He hit it. You know, our goal when we went, and it was a short period, was to see Tiger hit a shot. And you knew this is scary. We timed it, got in, went quickly into the apparel store to buy the
oh yeah,
overpriced items.
Well,
Then he looked at us, he goes, "We got to go." And we went backside. If you
Yeah.
remember this,
yeah,
I wanted to stop and watch guys hitting off 10. And you're like, no. We have no time for that. We V-lined it in his quick walk to 12 and got there just as Tiger was walking over to hit his tee shot on 12. And we were like second or third deep. So I got the picture. Tiger was 15 feet from us.
Yeah.
Couldn't have timed it any better. It was scary how MJ knew exactly when we
he
needed to
plays
be
the back nine early, first thing in the morning. Tiger does. So there's nuances like that where it's like if you and we
your
always
homework.
joked about it with Larry Murphy and Mark Holm. We went quite often. You need to be 2 steps ahead of
Oh, yeah.
the masses. So like you have the masses, they're going to show up at a certain time. And then you have people that think 1 step ahead. So they're going to show up ahead of the people in the masses. Well, if you really want the edge, you got to show up 2 steps ahead of the normal
Yep.
folk. And it works.
It does. And I mean, I experienced that as well. I think my big thing was Rory at the time. This was 2012. And I remember standing on 8T, I believe, Rory hitting a drive, and we had just got a fancy new camera, and we wanted a swing sequence of Rory McIlroy from the side. And there's someone else taking photos. And I'd asked, he overheard me, and he's just like, well, I guess we didn't know who he was. Rory hits a tee shot, and we hear the cameras click, all that stuff. And this guy standing next to us, he goes, "Rory's hit another one." Rory gets another ball, tees it up, hits it, takes some pictures. And I was like, we were talking about how's it turn out? Well, it turns out this guy's like a friend of Rory, and he's taking pictures for him. And he heard that we wanted a swing sequence of him. And he's like, "Well, what do you say? What's your email? I'll get you a photo or something like that." And then
I don't remember, but he never sent us the photos.
Never responded to the email.
Well, if he's listening,
I'm still a little salty about it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
I have another quick story. We got a bunch of stories, but
yeah.
Dad, your grandfather, he went the first year with us in '98, didn't have a ticket to get in.
Yeah.
But he could talk to anybody.
Okay.
And he got in every day. He wanted to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow he got a ticket. But the best way that he got a ticket is there was a fire hall across the street. Right. And of course, he's a firefighter, retired firefighter. But he went over there. He goes, "Well, I'm going to go make friends with the firemen, and they'll know how I can get a ticket." Well, before you knew it, they had tickets, and they provided even some EMT services. So they got him in one day. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just stuff like that where he's just...
This is what he would do.
Yep. He'd make friends, and he probably ended up cooking them dinner that night. I mean, he did. He would get in there and find his way, and we had a lot of fun with, okay, what creative way is DJ going to find to get himself in the Masters this week?
Never repeating his strategy. Always got to keep moving from there.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. There's so many stories, and it's awesome stuff. I know you probably got a couple more, so just throw them out when applicable. But I think the course history behind Augusta is almost as crazy as the tournament history. It was designed to be a tournament golf course for these best players in the world. There was not another option. It was not going to be everybody gets to play this. It was Alistair McKenzie and Robert Trent Jones, I think.
Yep, that's right.
And they were not going to make it just your everyday track. The thing that I found really, really interesting was one of the quotes from McKenzie was that it was a long golf course, but it wasn't going to feel long because of an absence of hazards and areas to lose your golf ball, and then the walks to the tee box are going to be short. And so it's interesting how just through the golf architecture, you can make a really challenging golf course really long at that time and still now, and you don't have to have these long cart paths like we do now or something like that. And Chuck, to your earlier point about the contour of the golf course.
Yep.
I saw an interesting picture, and if we could throw it up, maybe we'll get that. But I think that first hole is like 100-foot drop.
The 10th hole.
10th hole. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, the 9s used to be reversed.
Yeah. The original routing was 10 was number 1, and So the 10th hole is like 100-foot drop.
And it was and I listened to a show where they talked about that bunker that nobody's ever in now because it's in the middle of the fairway.
Yep.
And it was meant to be that 10th hole had two. It was a upper fairway and a lower fairway.
Yeah.
A right fairway and a left side. And guys still hit it up there. And the hole was meant to be played up the right side. And the green was located right behind that bunker. And you had an open shot into that green. Mm-hmm. Any ball driven up the left side had to come over that bunker, and you couldn't get it to stop.
And that green ran away from you.
So just the planning and the design, every shot had a value to it. And the angles that you were taking into those greens, it's not they just moved some ground around and planted some grass. I mean, everything was inch thought of about. That place is thought about.
I did see, I want to say it was Ben Crenshaw. I can't remember, but it was a 370-yard drive that he was like one of the only people to end up in that bunker at number 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Somebody's driven in there. Yep. That's big.
I want to say it's Ben Crenshaw, but I can't remember if that's the correct name that I saw.
So the one thing I appreciated about Augusta, and it's still the case. So a guy tweeted the menu for the patrons.
Yeah.
The food. Egg salad sandwich I'm looking at right now, $1.50.
This is this year's?
This year's. Yep.
See, this is what we're talking about.
Yep. Guy tweeted this. He took a picture. As you walk the grounds, you can see what the costs are. So egg salad, and then you got the pimento cheese, $1.50. These sandwiches.
$1.50.
We're individually wrapped.
We're climbing over each other to buy lunch.
We did.
I know.
Well, you and I and Bobby, and I think It was like $6 each. That was what 2 beers each. Yeah, and then you get into the beverages, soft drinks, $2. The beers must have come up. They're now $5.
Whoa.
That's still though.
That's
You
how
go
I know.
to a hockey game in Vegas, it's $26.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then the snacks, the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich,
Mm.
$2.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Doesn't that sound great? So yeah, when we were there, we it was great. Sandwich, Snickers, and a couple beers. And then
Yeah, here's
the
here's-
third person with us took a little cat nap next to the driving range. Remember when we went and watched the players?
Yeah, it was a long day. I mean, the day getting there early on, and yeah, he took a little nap at
Oh,
at
boy.
Augusta, and we have a picture of it. It's like not many people have fallen asleep at
All right,
Augusta. But
so here's my next question.
speaking of,
gents. Is that
I'm getting a call from him right now. We
He
could
knew
put
it.
him on
He
speaker,
knew it.
but
He knew.
we won't do it.
Here's my question to you guys.
Yeah,
looking at that menu, what's your ideal Masters lunch? You got to spend maybe something from each category. What are you picking out there?
Well, I think I'm going to do the egg salad sandwich.
I'm with you.
Yep. And then of course you got to wash it down with a barley pop. I don't remember. Do they have chips? They got to have chips.
We'll pull up the menu again.
Yeah, when you walk through there, they have chips. It's like a little, and they're so good at moving people through lines, whether it's the
Oh, yeah.
restrooms or the concessions, everything. It's just,
Here we go.
it's fantastic how
Yep.
they do that.
Chips. Your options are plain or barbecue.
Yep, simple.
$1.50.
Yeah.
Something called Southern cheese straws. $2. Cookies. $1.50. There you are.
Okay,
Those
so
two.
is that what you're building?
I'm doing the
What do you-
barbecue chips with the egg salad sandwich and a domestic beer.
That's
Yep.
pretty simple. That's all you need
Simple.
right there. Here, let me see that. I
Sitting
gotta
in the
get a picture
sunshine.
here.
Yep.
Okay.
While you're looking that up,
Yep. Go ahead.
So I want to tell this story. It's actually my favorite story. So our first year in '98, Jack Nicklaus was honored. They did a drinking fountain between the 16th green and the 17th tee in his memory. Okay, so like Hogan's got his fountain over here, and Palmer's got. Well, Nicklaus has his drinking fountain, and they did the dedication up at the clubhouse.
Okay.
Outside the clubhouse.
Yep.
And anybody, you could stand there, and they had it roped off, and he's giving his speech. And at the end of the speech, they moved the podium right next to the ropes. And it was Wednesday, and I went over to the podium and kind of moved the rope a little bit, and I had the guys. I said, "Hey, take a picture of me like I'm giving a speech here at Augusta," because they had their logo on the front of the podium, right? And I stood in line all morning so that we could be on the rope early. Anyway, so but at the podium, I got that picture, and then I look in the podium, and there's a handkerchief in there. Well, Jack started tearing up while he was giving his speech, and he didn't have a handkerchief on him. And the president of Augusta at the time handed him the handkerchief. So Jack's dabbing his eyes and his nose and whatnot, and he's not going to give it back to the president. So he just put it in the podium. And I happened to see it there. So I go back to Murph and Holm and Dad, and I go, guys, the handkerchief that Jack used is in that podium. And I'm talking to Murph and Holm. I don't want to get kicked out, but I'm like, do you think I could go back there and take that and just take it?
Gosh.
And by the time I asked them and we were debating about it, I turned around and Dad already had it in his hand.
Oh,
Of course,
my
walking back
goodness.
towards
Of
us.
course he did.
He 5-fingered that handkerchief.
He's just
I can hear him.
He's the master, just doing whatever he
Yeah.
wants and acting like he owns the place.
Yeah.
He'd say it. What are they going to do about it?
So then,
So that's what he would say.
we just thought we were the smartest guys in the world. We walked back down to the 16th hole. Now they had moved the water fountain down there. So we're posing for pictures with this handkerchief. And then the best thing was the next year, then I went and I hounded Jack the whole day until he was finally signing autographs. I even told his caddy, Jackie, his son, it was the end of the night and I got Jackie by the ropes. I'm like, Jackie, here. I tell him the whole story. He's like, that's a good story, but you're going to have to ask my dad to sign that himself. I'm not doing that for you. He's looking at me like I'm a little crazy.
Yeah.
So Jack works the whole line. He gets to me. I tell him the story, Jack, and he kind of looked at me and then he focused and signed that right in the middle of that handkerchief.
Mm-hmm.
I should have brought that in today.
Wow.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. I know which one that is now.
Where is
Yes.
it, Mark?
It's in my office at home.
Okay.
That's
Dad made a frame for it and etched a
Yeah, it's pretty
witnessed
legit.
by. It's even witnessed by. And then I have the picture on my phone. I'll get it to Kylie. We'll put it up on the podcast of Jack. He's giving the speech, and you can see it in his hand.
Oh, wow.
Anyways,
That's pretty good. That's top tier story right there. Top tier. There's
not many guys have
not many guys.
stolen a handkerchief that Jack used.
All right, not to jump too far back. I'm going lunch at Augusta.
Yep. What do you
I'm gonna
have?
do the
I'm buying.
pork barbecue,
Oh,
barbecue chips,
Mm.
Georgia peach ice cream sandwich, and then I'll throw in now that I'm 21, I'll do the domestic beer as well.
Okay.
mm-hmm.
Mark?
Yeah. Let me look at that. I didn't know they had the barbecue on there.
I think I did
They
that.
have breakfast items now,
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
well,
the
it's
breakfast.
past-
We had breakfast
it's
once
really
there.
good. Yeah,
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
I did.
Okay.
I think I did the barbecue. Just
It's only-
every day. I'm a big barbecue guy.
You know, it's only breakfast served till 10 a.m. So we're past that.
I've actually never been a huge egg salad sandwich guy.
Haven't you?
No, I mean I guess I really haven't had that many, so there's not really
Okay.
It's tough to judge.
I'm going to go. You guys already took the traditional egg salad sandwich. Or I'm going to go in Masters Club sandwich. How do you go
Nice.
wrong with the
Yeah.
Masters?
Yeah,
if they
that sounds good.
put it under their name.
Yep.
What's the crow's nest for
See,
$5?
I saw that and I looked
for
at
a
that too.
beverage.
Yeah, I don't know
Don't
if it's just above the alcohols, so I don't know. why I
It's
said it
priced
that
like
weird.
the alcoholic drinks. I bet it's some type of.
Master special drink.
I bet it's some type of lemonade, tea, spiked
Sure.
or something.
Sure.
Okay. And snacks. Georgia pecan caramel popcorn.
Pecan.
That's
Pecan.
new.
Yeah, I saw they added
Boy.
some new stuff on there.
It's unbelievable
It's
what they do. And
You know
all for
they're
that, we
doing-
just bought dinner. We just bought lunch, the three of us for. Well, the beers are going to get us up there, but under $30.
$30.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's $30.
I'd say $30.
Easy.
That's we're just scratching the surface. We can make this show 3 hours long if we wanted to, with stories and drooling over Augusta, and especially it's easy when we've got a foot of snow coming down on us. But we're going to take our first break. On the other side of this break, we've got our star guest picker for our majors, Steve Ratti, in the building.
Yes.
He's going to sit in here. We're going to dissect this year's Masters. It's going to be a heck of a breakdown. I know Chuck's been foaming at the mouth for
Yep.
the last
Well,
week
I'm
trying to
hoping-
get
Yeah, I'm hoping Steve brought his A game because last time we had him on, I think he finished second.
behind
picked-
yours truly.
No.
Yes.
Then he was third.
I won that week, just so everyone knows.
Boy.
Oh, we didn't even talk about this. We'll talk about last week.
Yeah, we'll
when
get
they're
into
coming.
it.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
All right.
So
Okay.
stick around. Other side of the break, we've got this year's Masters stock for the players. The Masters viewing headquarters here at Sweet Shots. Make sure you get in here all week. Starting today, as this releases, Wednesday, we'll have the par 3 contest going on. We've got every stream available for the Masters. We've got some awesome drink specials. Chuck, you touched on it with exec chef Marty. Some classic Masters food, some great Masters drinks. We've got our lounge happy hours going on. Get in here, settle in, watch the Masters, maybe play a little bit of golf. It's going to be going on all week long. Come in and enjoy from the Masters viewing headquarters in Fargo at Sweet Shots. Let's have fun today. Gents, quickly jumping back in. We've been all Masters all show. We got to jump in to last week. Corey Connors takes down the Valero Texas Open from behind. And Chuck, you and I, we talked about it last week when we were kind of getting into the Masters mode. And honestly, I think it hurt my game plan because my fun fact of the day for the Masters, this was going to be it coming in because he was going to be a sleeper, Corey Connors.
Yep.
You know, the only 2 players to have a top 10 finish in their last 3 Masters every year. You know who they are?
Corey Connors.
Corey Connors and Cam Smith.
Yep.
And then he won. So now, like you were saying,
He's going to be chalky.
everybody's
Everybody's
gonna
going to be
have
on.
him.
And his price point's
Decent, too. I think it's like 70 something.
I'll
Well,
pull
because
that up.
those were set before he won.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
76.
76. It's just ridiculous.
Yep.
So that was my stat. I was going to lean on that. I was going to be Corey Connors this, Corey Connors that. Now he won, and that goes out the window. But before we go any further, forgive me again. I'm terrible at introducing guests. Steve Ratti, welcome into the booth.
Hey,
thanks for
welcome
coming
back.
in.
Boys, great to be here again.
Good to
with
see ya.
Thanks for the invite. Masters Week.
Yep.
March Madness just ended. What a great
Love
month
this.
of sports.
Yep.
So
It
good.
is. It's the. I think they're calling it now like championship season is what they start calling it.
Yes,
this
I,
time.
I like that.
Okay.
I mean, you're going to get a little bit of everything from every sport, and for us, this is. I mean, we touched on it in earlier episodes. The Masters kind of kicks off spring. That's when you
love
know you get the itch.
Yep.
And Frozen 4 too this weekend, right?
Yep.
It's Thursday. Yep.
University of
Frozen
Minnesota.
Four, Minnesota's
Yep.
in that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good too. A lot of good
Congrats
stuff.
on your regional that you guys hosted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that was
very good.
man, we hit it out of the park. I know I saw you there, Minnesota versus St. Cloud. Couldn't have worked out better for us. Sellout crowd. That was a great deal.
I wasn't there. I didn't make
You
it.
didn't make it?
No, I couldn't get a ticket.
Ah, okay, we'll work on that next time.
Wow, a little rub.
20,
Oh,
I
you weren't there?
I thought you're like your dad. You'd find a way to get
Right.
in.
You
Well,
would think.
actually, if there was a reason to really go, I would have found
True.
a way to get in. But
True.
the wrong schools were playing. But we digress. So
Quickly.
quickly,
Yeah.
I had 396. I had 5 out of 6 players make the cut.
Yep.
Thought that's pretty solid.
Yep.
You guys had all your players
It was a
make
battle.
the cuts.
This was the first time I had six guys make the cut in like the last month.
Mm-hmm.
I had 423.50.
Ooh, so close.
How close?
I had 6 of 6, 426.
Mm.
Sneaked battle. Just a sneaky.
Good battle. Good
Didn't
battle.
have the winner. I didn't have Corey Connors, but just solid across the board and profitable for the week. So feeling good coming in the Masters. Momentum's there, guys. 6 of 6.
Yep.
Congrats.
this.
Well,
Solid.
as a
Wait.
group,
Solid.
we were 17 for 18. Cuts
yeah,
made.
I mean, to only have one guy make the cut, that's good
Missed the
record
cut.
coming into the Masters. Or miss the cut, sorry.
Yep.
In a
Okay.
tournament where you didn't have it. I mean, it was a crapshoot
That's right.
because a lot of
Was
the
a
big boys were
crapshoot,
down.
yeah.
So,
Correct.
but let's focus on this. We got Chief no, what do you call it? No, not a procrastinator. You're
That's so weird.
you're
Yeah, we
like-
all are in that. Yeah.
Jimmy the Greek. What,
yeah, Jimmy. What was
he was
he?
a-
What was he? A prog? Yeah, what was that word?
yeah, what is that?
Prognosis.
Yeah,
Prognosticator.
prognosticator.
Close.
Yes,
Close, yeah.
that's what you are.
That. Thank you guys.
I mean, you have your
appreciate that.
finger
My
on the.
dad would be proud. Maybe have him do this one time.
No, we're gonna have fun. You
this will be
you
good.
you know your stuff.
Yep. Sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So getting into it, Chuck, you kind of touched on it last week, but this is a huge course history golf course. It's played at the same location, and I use that word lightly because very rarely is it the same golf course. You look at how many changes have been made to this golf course over the time, either to keep up with the demands of the game, or just out of sheer whether it's spectator viewing or they didn't like the way the golf ball was bouncing off a certain grade of slope or couldn't keep the ball on the green. They'd change it. I think there's a great website out there that details every single change made to this golf course, and it's amazing. I sat in bed last night for probably 45 minutes just looking over every single change. It was just crazy. So that's why I say same location, not necessarily the same golf course over time. Would you guys agree with that?
Agreed.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And it's a course, that course history to have a major played the same spot all the time. It's one of those courses too that first year players don't play well. There's only one person in the history of the tournament to win it his first year is Fuzzy Zeller in like 79.
That's right.
So it really is a course. Yes, they make some modifications yearly, but the course knowledge experience is a huge factor here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one. I think the greens. I'm relying heavily on green rating and good putters at Augusta. I think you get a strong leg up, and then ties into the approach of it. And Chuck, I'm going to let you run with all the stats. I mean, this is the first episode. I think you brought your computer in here.
Ooh,
I'm meaning business and my
This is pretty
master's
sweet.
book.
That's beautiful.
You guys are
Green.
not privy to what's in here, by the way, because this is a separator
I
right
like
there.
that.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, guys, it's huge course history, obviously, number one. But now we got this variable this year where weather. So if you go out and take a look, And obviously, you guys know as well as I don't want to start building lineups and not monitor it Wednesday night because things can change.
Yep.
But they're talking it's going to go from 80 on Thursday to 55 on Saturday and rainy. That's huge. And there's players that don't play well in wind and rain. And there's players that are grinders that are just going to get it done. They're the mutters, right?
Yep. You know, it reminds me of, was it last year's PGA championship in Tulsa? It was crummy weather there.
That's
It was really windy, and then they got rained out one of the days.
Yeah.
Is that where Pierre, whatever that guy's name is, had it?
Mito Pereira.
Had it
Yes.
won and
Mito. Yep.
Yeah,
These
that
are
was
the
too
last
bad. Yeah.
hole.
Um,
And JT
featured on
stole it.
full swing.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, you know, it might take a peek at that leaderboard.
There
You
you
never
go.
know what mutters kind of
Yep.
work their way up
Yep.
under adverse conditions. You're always looking for that edge, right?
Yep.
History will tell you what's going on.
I heard an interesting. So I'm a stat guy. You guys know this. I go off the stats. One guy I follow and listen to talked about course history. The last 12 winners have had a strokes gained total coming into the event of 1.5 or better. And so if you go out there, you can do
That's
a search.
everything, right?
Total
gained
strokes.
Total strokes. So that's driving, iron game approach, around the green. So it's in totality.
Oh,
Less than 1.5, there hasn't been a winner in 10 years. That's pretty telling. So if you go out and just do a quick search on, okay,
Who's
1.5 or
got-
above, that list, I did that, becomes about 20 strong. And it's the big guys. It's the McElroys, it's Chef, it's Rahm.
Yep.
But there's some guys in there you go, You know, you mentioned Cantlay offline a
Yep.
little bit. He's on that list.
Yeah.
So it's a nugget. Whether or not that holds true, we'll see.
You know, you guys have been there. You mentioned that before, and you're talking about course knowledge. Forgetting right now, what's the hole in the front nine? It's a really, really short par four, but the green you can get in big time trouble. That's a classic on Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So many guys are on the wrong side of the green. Will three putt?
no, it's not 4. I'm sorry.
It's 4 the par 3.
4 is a par 3.
So is it 3?
Yeah, because it goes
Three.
par 4, par
Sorry,
5, par
3.
4,
Got-
and then par 3.
A lot of guys three putt that hole.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
it's
it's
so
only like 330 or 40 yards.
And they try to get really, really close, and they still can bogey from like 30 yards.
That's what makes that golf course so
That's
good,
That's
right?
such a good golf hole.
I mean,
they all are, but that is such a good hole.
It's the way that they
It
use
is.
the contours in the mounds, right? You look at there's bunkers, but a lot of times, I mean, there's areas away from the bunkers, but then you get it's all about angles, right? We talked about number 10, and looking at that. Quick question: What would be your guys' favorite hole at Augusta?
Oh, I love
don't
this
know if
question.
3 is your favorite.
Well,
Steve,
I don't know if 3 is, but I love it. I heard Tom Hoagie with Dom Izzo this year said his favorite shot at Augusta is his second shot on 10,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Ooh,
to hear.
wow.
I mean, there's so many.
Wow, yeah.
Chuck, you and I talked about it. I think 10's probably my favorite hole, just from the kind of build up. You've played 9 holes,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're coming in. You know, Amen Corner's coming up, and how much of a beast that is. You've got a 100-foot drop on your tee shot. You've got the no man's bunker that, I mean, it just optically is intimidating, and then that green is still super complex. I think it's a great golf hole for a par 4 to kick off the back 9 at Augusta.
Agree. Is 11 the hardest to par out there? would
They've
you
moved
say?
that tee back.
They
I mean,
have.
it's long. It's
I think
tough.
they don't
That-
statistically it is,
530. Yeah. Water
Yeah.
on the left. Everybody
They don't go for
bails
the
out
pin.
right.
They go right.
Such a
Hogan, I think,
classic.
said if I'm on the green, I pulled my shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he played to the right fringe.
Yep.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Larry Mize area.
Chip
Chip
in,
in.
robbing Greg Norman. At the time, I would have loved the Greg Norman win, but
Yeah.
now it's like, I'm okay
good
that
with that.
Norman
I'm
didn't
with
win.
you. Head away, Larry.
I think my favorite is 12.
Yeah,
I think of
classic.
coming down, especially on Sunday, that pressure. Just ask
wind
Jordan
with the
Spieth.
wind?
Yep. With the wind swirling in there.
Molinari,
Yeah.
right? He did the same thing as Speed.
And I went back and I'm watching the 2019 Masters, so don't ruin it, guys. Tiger Woods just took the lead
Oh.
on the 15th hole there.
Yeah,
so,
it gets good.
oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. But you look at the guys that, I mean, it's 12's 150 yards ish. I mean, it's
That's-
like a
yep.
pitching wedge 9-iron.
Yep.
And I think 5 out of the last 8 guys hit it in the water in
Yeah.
2019.
Yes.
That's right. And
The
yeah,
wind swirls there, and there's a whole science to watching what the trees are doing,
Yes.
and you only get that through experience. this is a little inside baseball, getting into the nitty gritty, but the design of that hole, and that's where Augusta is just brilliant.
Unbelievable.
So the way that green is positioned, the front left closest to the player, and then the back right of that green is furthest away from the player for right-handed players. And if you miss a shot at as a right-handed player, you kind of hit it weak, it's going to end up short right. Well, what's short right there?
Rays Creek.
The water.
Yep.
Shots that we hit solid, but we pull. Where do those shots go? They go long left.
You're deep.
So our shot patterns are complete opposite of what that green is.
Yes.
So that's why you see the drama on that hole.
Yeah.
You have
All
to
the
hit
time.
the perfect shot.
Yeah.
If you miss it right, you're wet. Long left, you're up in the flowers.
And you're bogey, at least, yes.
Guys talk about their cover number all the time when you look at trouble. And the neat thing about hole 12 is because everything runs away from you, all of a sudden your cover number starts to get longer and longer, but you can't necessarily club up because you can't play for a bad shot necessarily.
Right.
So then you got to find a way to, hit a good shot, right? But then you look at, where's the miss? And that cover number starts to become larger and larger the more you take on that right side. Yep. And then the other thing that I saw that interesting on that hole is it alludes to your point, Mark, where left-handers play that hole better than right-handed players because it fits their shot pattern. I think Bubba Watson, when he won it, was he was like 2 or 3 under par on that hole when he won the Masters, as opposed to the rest of the field being over par.
I mean, you've had 3 lefties win in a period: Mike Weir and Phil and Bubba.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's something to be said there.
Yeah. I don't think Harmon can win it this year, but
Akshay Bhatia in a couple of years. Mark my words.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
I think you talked about course changes. So this year they lengthened 13.
Yeah, big change.
What is it, 40 additional yards?
Yeah, I think it was 40. So here's my other fun fact. As I was looking through that website that tells you every change, the Masters, when they make a change to the golf course, do not change the yardages on the scorecard. They don't tell anyone.
What?
So they'll lengthen a hole 20 yards. The big one was on hole 1 I saw. And they moved the tee box back 15 yards, kept the scorecard yardage the same, didn't tell anyone, and anybody that asked, they just said, "Oh no, we moved the bunker closer 15 yards." Or the bunker back 15
back further away.
Yeah. So they just blatantly lied that they move, and then they 5-10 years down the road they'll be like, "Oh yeah, actually it's playing instead of 400, it's actually playing 425."
That's good.
That's good. It's just comical. But yes, so the extension to 13, and that was, that's a big debate as far as the reason they do it. They have to, they're attempting to get that hole played the way that it was designed. I believe Alistair McKenzie and Robert Trent Jones, they believe that was the best hole in golf, period. It was the most natural hole on the golf course. All they had to do was just put a tee box and a green, and it was there. They cleared some trees. And so I think it's one of the least changed holes on the golf course. But in recent years, it started to become, it's a par 5, but it started to become driver 8 iron, driver 6 iron. And the hole was intended to be what they were using the word momentous. It had to be a momentous decision on 13 for your second shot, because you were off a hanging lie to a green that was well guarded. And it came down to crunch time. And now these guys have 8 irons into the green and they hit it past everything. And not anymore. And I know watching the interview with Dustin Johnson, he's like, I don't think I'll be going for it. I'll be laying up. A lot of these guys now start to recognize how difficult that hole is going to play, moving that back 40 yards. Yeah. It's going to be really interesting.
That's a big deal.
So you bring up, you talk about advantages and obviously course history. And again, back to the DFS side and form and lineups. Bombers, guys that hit it long, are going to have a bigger advantage this year, especially if it's wet this weekend.
Yeah, roll.
No roll. And as much as I want to be on, I'll use Tiger as an example. I'm a little leery having Tiger for multiple reasons. I think he can make cut, but when it comes to not getting roll, and then just the hills and how much it's going to take out of this guy.
72 holes in that.
Yep. Yeah, soft ground, walking soft ground. That's harder.
That's hard.
Yeah. So anyway, I know we're going to get into specific players here, but another thing to be focused on, I think, is just guys that are hitting it a little further. They're going to be having a little more advantage.
I like it.
Okay. How do we want to do this? I mean, this is a special week. Do we want to talk, jump right in lineups, or do we want to take a look at what DFS has for their price points and general thoughts? LJ, you're kind of the leader.
We got a lot to talk about in our lineups. What if that just organically talked about other players?
Yeah, we just worked through our game. I'm gonna make the executive decision for this week.
Yep.
Chuck, you'll go first because you're the champ from last week.
Congrats.
But
thank you.
You
Well
can
done.
change. You can change the lineup. I can change the lineup. Mark can change the lineup. Rata, you can change the lineup.
Yep.
Where normally, once you've set it, it's set.
Okay.
We'll be a little flexible in that sense. So,
I like it.
Chuck, kick us off here. Let's go with the.
But also don't have to change, right? If I got these 6 locked in, we're good to go.
If you've got the winners,
if you think you're good to go,
And we're battling for second, I guess. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I'm okay. I'm jumping in.
Okay.
I think my lineup's going to upset you guys a little bit.
Why is that?
Well,
he's
you'll
got
see.
live players.
You're going to see. First off, Scotty Chef's winning again.
Yep.
I just think he's got the game. Doesn't matter the conditions.
I saw an interesting deal. Where, again, you look at strokes gained.
Yep.
The other thing is look at recent form as far as relationship to last year.
Okay.
And he won. And there's a graph of Scotty's trending abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And at this moment, he is playing better than he did last year.
That's scary. And he won by what? 4 with a 3 putt from 5 feet?
4
putt. I mean, it's scary. I think he's gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling I gotta have Chef. And then I'm going favorite of mine, Tony Finau. Great course history here. I think he's coming in solid form. I think he's gonna surprise people. Hopefully he's putting on the green jacket. I'd love to see that.
Remember when he smoked his ankle in the par 3?
One and
Yes.
Dislocated it, didn't he? And just kind of stepped it back
And then he
in.
just put her back in.
Yeah, and kept playing that weekend. Played okay, if I recall.
Yes,
too.
he did.
He
That
made
was
cut.
that was an old basketball type.
Right,
of
it was.
Sorry, football. That was ugly.
Okay. Then I'm going again, course history, guy who's won it just a couple years ago, Matsuyama.
Mm.
And you look at last 2 outings, he's playing better.
He needs a putter to heat up, right? That's kind of
That's
his
his deal.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Okay.
I like where his form's at.
Okay.
This is where I upset you guys. This is where you're like, oh my God. And I was on him for this event prior to last week, but Brooks Koepka.
Yep.
I think Brooksy's got something to prove and a chip on his shoulder. And when it comes to majors, he just struts the strut. So
He's a mental midget.
He always has a chip on his shoulder.
He does.
though,
He
all the
does,
time.
but I don't know. I'm skewed after watching Full Swing. That guy he's mentally,
just
he's
won.
not ready.
He just won.
he just won.
Where?
Orlando.
Last
It's
week.
just last
I mean,
week.
Home of the-
against whom?
Cam
home of the
Smith.
PGA show, the Orange Country Club, Orange County Country Club.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah,
did
that's
that.
where they played.
Yeah, public golf course.
He beat Ian Poulter. Great.
I don't think
you'd shoot 68 there.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm just saying. I think he's
so-
coming in to prove something.
Here's my deal, Chuck, is that it's I want to say almost advantageous to have live guys because I think there's guys that are going to avoid live
Oh,
guys
wow, absolutely,
out
yeah.
of spite.
So that's the point of this conversation, right? Is we're helping our listeners.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. I think you're going to look at the ownership percents.
Yep.
These guys are going to be lower. The next one, if that one upset you, Patrick Reed.
Well,
I don't like that one, but
How has he played here, guys?
he plays really well there.
Really
It's
well
from
there.
Augusta. He went
That's
to
where he's
Augusta
from.
State.
He's right there. Yep.
Yep.
That's home.
So I'm putting aside my feelings for these
Yeah.
dudes with the idea that they're going to be lower owned.
I got him on a team.
Money
too.
talks. So yeah. I
Yep.
get it.
Yeah.
And then because those guys, there's some value there. There's a price point. I had to get in the 6s.
yeah,
Ooh,
I'm going with a guy he's won here before. He's an older dude.
Bernhard.
I'm not going that low.
Not
No.
that old. Not
No,
that
no,
old.
Last year, I should pull this up. He was top 15 again last year, and he's coming in with pretty solid form. Anybody guess it? Anybody?
Can't be Bubba.
Danny Willett.
Oh, Danny
you
Willett.
son of a gun.
That's a tough one.
Yep. So Danny making cut, and I'm looking for a top 25.
Yep,
Here we are. That's my squad.
that's your squad.
Good luck, boys.
I like that. I think
Good squad, Chuck.
Solid.
squad.
Thank you.
I'm definitely. I mean, I'm doing. Normally, I don't do all 20 lineups. I think I'm doing all 20 lineups this week.
Okay.
There's so much. Part of this, and then we talk about it with the elevated events, but there's so many possibilities because there's so much high quality talent
Yes.
that I think to not do a full 20
You're right.
You're hurting yourself.
You're handcuffing yourself.
Yes.
So glad you're bringing that up. So if you look at the number of entries, right? And Brooks Koepka said this when he was playing at his peak. He'd come into a major and he'd go, I can eliminate a third of them because there's no way in heck they're going to beat me, right? You can take that mentality with Masters.
Yeah.
There's 20 guys, 25 that you look at, and it's the previous winners, the Sandy Lyles, right?
Yep.
The Larry Mizes. They're not winning.
It's the weakest field in major championship golf.
And then any amateurs, yes, it's a great story. You usually get 3-4 of them that make the cut, but I eliminate those.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you went from 70 guys down to 50 guys. You cannot have every person on your lineup. So you kind of got to go from top to bottom and start eliminating guys.
Yep.
You just have to. And then put your eggs in one basket. Like maybe you're a McIlroy guy. Just hope that he's your man. Because you can't afford Chef as well as Rahm. So you just ride with McIlroy.
You got to pick one.
Yep. And run with it. Yep. So for the listeners out there, that's what I would do is just go for those price points. You know, top 3 guys, pick one. Look at your 9Ks. There's 8 of them. Maybe pick a couple. Build lineups off of that. 8,000s. There's 12 of them. Pick 3 or 4. Build your lineups off of that. So
yeah, it's a neat way to get creative with it for sure.
Let's hear it.
I'll get into mine. So we share a couple of them, 2 of them. Scotty Scheffler. It's so hard to just not have him on a lineup. So like I said, I'm doing multiple. The one that I'm submitting for the show, I've got Scotty Scheffler, and then I went Cam Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm weary about it because in his press conference he wasn't super pumped about the way his game was. He said he was playing better last year.
He's got a great record here, though.
He's got a great
phenomenal
course history, and I think all the Live guys are playing with a chip on their shoulder, and he said it too. He wants Live to be well represented. I'm not necessarily rooting for that, but I think it's been blown out of proportion a little bit by just golf in general. You look at a lot of these guys are on the range and they're hugging and slapping backs and all this stuff.
I think we're all going to have. I don't know about you, but we're all going to have one Live guy.
I think so.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and I think there's less animosity. You know, if you were friends before they went to Live, you're still friends now.
Sure.
I think Patrick Reed's probably going to have the least amount of friends at the field. But
That's true.
Probably right.
Did you see Norman's post yesterday? He did something like, when a Live guy wins, we'll all 18 of us or 17 will be on the 18th green.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
for you
really?
guys.
And they asked Cam Smith about that. He goes, if that was said, no one said that. Definitely no one's told me about that. I was not invited to
That's
that.
a Greg Norman
I
deal,
love it.
isn't it?
Yeah. So anyways.
All right. Well, so then because I went Scotty Scheff and Cam Smith, those are 2 pretty expensive guys. Cam's at 9,800. I had to dip in the 6s. So I also went Danny Willett for 6,600 in his course history.
Yep.
Cut maker, hoping for a cut and maybe a top 25. And then I went, Mark, we were talking about a Seamus Power, 6,800. I know he's probably on Mark's squad, but I just like that pick. And then I got a good vibe about Shane Lowry recently. I don't know what it is. It's just, maybe it's because I keep seeing him on my timelines, but
I got him bet in Vegas.
do you?
Oh yeah.
He's just something just screaming in Shane.
And the conditions. I think if
Yeah,
it's rainy, cold,
He's a mutter.
he's a mutter.
He's a mutter.
Yep. Bring it on.
I like Shane.
I like that. That's a good pick.
Okay. All right. And then rounded out 7,800, Justin Rose. I think he's great course history. Plus, he's, I think I saw statistically the best putter in the field on the bent grass greens at Augusta.
Okay.
I got him in Vegas in November. I bought him.
Yeah, he prides himself on knowing these greens at Augusta. So I alluded to it beforehand, but I think
I like it.
He's
That's
really
solid.
solid. So
And
there's my
deserving.
lineup.
He's a guy you'd go,
He's
if
a
he
good
won
dude.
a
He's a good
Master,
dude.
you go, yeah, he fits in with that group.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to see him
agreed.
do that. But nice team.
What'd you bet on him in November to win it?
I think I put, to win it. I think
Smart.
I put not a lot of money on him.
Yeah,
but
but
I
you
mean,
probably got him at 60, 70 to 1, right?
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I might look it up, but it was really good.
Hoagie's 125.
Is that what he's at?
It's 125. Look on my way over here. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Guest.
All right,
What do you got?
Here we
this
go.
is a big moment for you, Steven.
Like Chuck said, you got to throw one of the big dogs in there no matter what.
Yep.
So I'm starting with Rory.
Ooh.
Mhm.
The
Get
only
Grand
the
Slam.
only one left
Yep.
for the Grand Slam.
Okay.
Just I think he's dialed in right now with, obviously you hear his live talk and Tiger and a few of these guys.
I like it.
It's hard not to pick between Rahm, Scheffler, and him. You got to take one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
My live guy, my dad loves this guy. Okay. Abraham Answer.
Yeah.
I think he plays Augusta okay.
Let me look.
Yeah,
Let me look.
take
Let
a
me
look.
Yeah, I
I'm
looked
on
at
it right
that.
now.
Solid,
Abe Answer.
like you always talk about, Chuck, you got to fit the money in.
Yep.
Some guys
Yep.
are going to be 7, 8, 9 different things.
You just don't know how those live guys are playing though, because
No, you don't. They're not. Correct. They're going to, like you guys said, they're going to be dialed in. One of them's going to be right.
Someone's
there.
got to they play. Like I looked, and Dustin Johnson actually plays well when he plays less golf. At like 22
believe
rounds,
that.
he plays some of his best golf.
Yeah. 13th, 26th, and miscut in those orders as the last 3
13th
years.
last year.
Nope, sorry, in the reverse order.
opposite.
Just missed last year, and it was 26th the year prior, and then 13th.
So I'd take 13th.
Yep.
Long shot from the University of Kansas,
Woodland.
Gary Woodland.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I
playing
actually-
better this year.
I actually looked at
He
that.
is
a bomber.
He is.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Yep.
talked about hitting it far and
I like
whatnot.
it.
And I had to put the Fargo kid on there.
Oh.
Tom Hoagie.
I'm surprised you guys didn't have Hoagie on there.
I mean,
It's good value.
He's
Yeah,
on a-
36.
he's on a couple my teams.
What did he finish last year?
39th. Sorry, I'm looking at it. 39th.
Such a good iron player. Like you said, if it's wet, that might hurt him a little bit, but it's hard not to take him.
He is
I
a
like
great
it.
iron player.
He is one of the best.
I mean,
He is.
you need good irons around there for sure.
Next one, Mr. Sam Burns.
Ooh.
I like him. I've just always like that's kind of going with your heart
Is
a
he the
little bit.
jogger guy?
No.
With
Oh, that's
Sam
Ryder.
Ryder.
Yeah.
with your heart. I like him. I've always kind of
Burns.
liked.
Yeah.
He's a good player. I
Yep.
think in the match play, didn't he do pretty good?
Yeah, he did really good.
Yeah, finals.
Fine. Okay.
Yep.
And then it is Easter Sunday for the Masters, and you guys probably know who's won the last two
Yes.
tournaments on Easter.
Yes.
Speedy.
Jordan Spieth.
That's
So
right.
I had
Nice.
to go
Mhm.
the old third time's a charm.
Love it.
He's going to win again on Easter.
He's
That's
trending,
probably
too.
going to be my biggest bet as well, like you did.
Yeah.
I like
I'm gonna bet on him to win. I think he's 18 to 1.
What's
but
his value?
He's
Spiethy?
10s, isn't he?
He's
up there.
Is he a upper eights?
No, he's higher
Nice.
than that.
He's higher. Oh, okay.
9,700.
Yeah.
Oh, 90. Okay.
His last three, 46th, 3rd, and last year miscut. But he's coming in
let's
in
get
good
back
form.
to
He's coming in
he
good
is
form.
good form and
Yep.
3 for 3 on Easter.
I love it.
That's why I got him in there.
Nice take.
Thank you. I mean Easter. We all love Easter.
I root for
this
Jordan.
group right here. Yeah, always root for him.
Yeah, that's where I would. Yeah, I talked off here. I think a Spieth and JT. I was high. We go way back to Hawaii. I was like, I think JT's going to have a good year. He's got to get out of his own way. Justin Thomas.
He's just got to play. That's what he does the best.
I think
His putting's terrible.
Is that his deal?
Yeah.
It has,
But
been.
he's good.
Yeah.
4th, 21st, and 8th. His last three.
Yeah,
4, 21, and 8. That's sneaky.
yeah,
You add
and I
that-
don't think he's
that's
on
good.
many radars.
No,
Nope.
I like that.
Yeah, so I'm going to do a team with those two guys. But speaking of putting, your Brooks Koepka pick, granted he's a live guy,
Yeah.
but his putting is no bueno. I mean, just
Oh,
he's
Yeah.
he's a mess, and I don't think. Yes, he won. He may have had a great ball striking day, but any chink in the armor at Augusta is going to show up.
Yeah.
and
that's and he's not on my team, probably not on yours. Isn't that Zalatoris? Isn't he struggling like
yep. And see,
Yeah.
I
off the
like
charts putting? I like him too, but
I
he's,
like him because he thinks his way around. Like Masters said, the
he
Augusta
plays
sets
it
up well.
good. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he putted awful at the match play, and then withdrew. So hopefully he ran some. I mean, I got Vegas money on him.
Yeah, he's putting like
But-
my buddy Rick Linderuth right now. I mean, 3-footers are impossible. Had to get Ricky on the show.
So you see some of the strokes they replay,
Oh my god!
and as long as you're doing the same thing all the time, you can get away with. Billy Mayfair had a stroke that was pretty crazy. But if you do it the same, so that it becomes predictable. But I think I've seen putting strokes where it's a little different all the time.
it's scary.
So
It's scary.
Agreed.
Huh.
I bet
I'm
you
rooting
probably
for
don't
that
have
kid,
him
but-
either.
no, I don't have him
No,
either.
none of us. He's really good, but you
I
just
have Vegas odds on him back in November when we went down. That's because there was before the season, and I was really hoping that he was
those are the
not
good
gonna
ones to do because you get good odds on that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those deals.
Well-
He's such a good ball striker. He's going to get himself around the golf course effectively.
Just
If he
get a
does have a
putt.
good putting
Yeah.
week, he could win.
He could win.
And that's where I put Hoagie. I think his caddy is an excellent green reader. I happened to talk to Tom about the Masters here not that long ago, and he goes, "You know what? I didn't even play well that last week or last round last
Yeah.
year and finished 30 whatever,
9th.
I think his ball. Are you done with your team, Steve?
I am done with my 6.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna enter my team. So I've got Hoagie on my team. I have a feeling he is going to settle in. Second time there,
Well, and he's
Good.
played well.
I
I,
like
mean,
it.
he's been around the competition now
Yep.
for a while.
feeling like he fits in.
Yep.
I mean, he's legitimately thinking Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
You're going to want to. Yep.
He should.
Course
Absolutely.
record.
That's unbelievable.
at
Yeah,
TPC.
that's a big
At
deal.
the
It's a big-
Players.
That's a big deal.
That's
If that doesn't
confidence.
make you feel
Yep.
that you can play, you can play.
Yep.
With the weather moving in, though, you think back what happened to him at Pebble. If you get on the wrong side of these draws,
Oh, boy.
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
where we haven't mentioned dailies at all for the Masters, but you might want to keep an eye on the weather and
Yeah.
just see what's happening, and maybe do a team that's a morning or an
Morning
afternoon.
wave.
Correct.
Anyways,
It
but-
sounds like Thursday doesn't matter.
okay.
Is what I'm hearing.
That's
8
what I'm
mile an hour wind from start to finish. But
And-
other
and
days, you're
warm.
exactly right. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So you can, because a lot of people out there playing don't notice stuff like that. They're just gonna.
Correct.
And this is one of the most popular weeks, probably of
People just get in to get in.
Yep.
and they're not going to look that close. Okay, so Hoagie, I had to throw that out there. But my heavy hitters, Scheffler, I don't know how you don't have him on a team, but I chased that with McIlroy. I found a way to get both those
Wow.
guys on.
Wow.
I think,
Wow.
like you, Steve, I think McIlroy's right. He's on your squad.
He's on my squad. So is
Yeah.
Hoagie. We got a lot in common, Mark.
Yeah. Great minds. But McIlroy, I do believe this live and him being at the forefront spokesperson for the PGA Tour has distracted him.
Yes.
It's taken a lot out of it. So on the weeks where he's a little distracted, he's not played his best. Match play, played well. I think he's gearing up for this week.
Well,
Last
I
year,
like
if
it.
you remember, he holed out. He shot 64 that
Yes.
final round.
That's
From the
right.
From the bunker.
what
the
an
bunker.
18th hole for 64.
Yeah.
Yes, he
I
did.
mean, he
Tied the
went
course
out-
record.
So that's his deal, though. He has to have a good first 2 rounds. He has to.
Yes. He
Because
starts so slow.
Every
here.
year he starts
Yep.
awful. And if he doesn't make the cut, then he goes out and plays really well. It's like, dude, just do that the first
And,
couple days.
and that's
man.
the old, what is it? You cannot win it Thursday,
But
you can lose
you can lose it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
That's
It's a
big,
great quote.
It's a big phrase at Augusta.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that lineup.
Okay, so I've got
Hoagie, McIlroy.
Scheffler, McIlroy, Hoagie.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody called T. Woods,
I've heard
Tiger
of him.
Woods. I'm
Yep.
looking for a guy to make a cut.
Yep.
I don't. If Tiger's playing, the guy's making the cut. He made the cut at Riviera. He doesn't even play well at Riviera, and he made the cut at Riviera.
His interview this morning, he did say he's hitting it well, and his conditioning is better than Riviera.
I like it. That's a great pick, and his price point's really good.
And that's
Mhm.
part of the reason
Yeah.
7,300.
Yep.
You kidding me? They're just telling you, here's a. I obviously we could all be wrong, but I don't see a scenario where, unless he gets injured, how he doesn't make the cut.
Mhm.
He just
Bookmark that. I disagree with that.
he's
I
that
disagree.
good. It's Tiger Woods at Augusta.
I understand that.
He could
but
play
his-
left-handed.
I was
and
gonna say
probably have
one
a
arm.
shot.
You
His,
can play with one arm.
his last tournament was Riviera. I mean, he's not
Tiger
playing,
Woods.
but he's not playing
It's
any
Augusta.
competition. He's smiling way too much.
Okay.
He does not.
I'm
have,
with you, Mark.
He
I'd
does
have
not
him on
have.
the
I
squad.
disagree with you guys.
I
disagree.
have.
I'm
Want a
hoping
little
I
side
got
bet,
squads
LJ, on whether or
I
not he
will-
makes the
I
cut.
will take
Oh,
that.
There's a nice
yes.
lunch bet there.
Little side bet.
Let's
Little
do
nice
this.
lunch bet
Yeah,
there.
I'll take that. I'm not actively rooting for it. I hope he makes the cut, but I'm saying that there are scenarios, non-injury, that he misses the cut.
Okay.
I mean, it's golf, but I'm just
It's
not
good to
saying
get
that.
good to get side bet action going. I
We
like
will.
that.
And then I
Within
looked
the
at
family.
every way, shape, form to not have. Well, okay. I have Seamus Power on my team.
Always.
6,800. He's a mutter. He's a mutter. He's
Seamus-
from
Seamus and an
Ireland.
old guy.
a lot of his stats are trending. And then I have a live guy.
Okay.
Yep. The most hated Pat Reed.
Oh, you have Reed too.
I do have Reed on
Okay.
the team. I just think he's going to thrive in
Well,
this deal.
He lives for that
He
kind
did.
of stuff.
So I
That's-
did
like
see
that.
he went out for his practice round yesterday. He went out solo, dressed in all live gear, his team gear, all black. He went out solo and didn't talk to a single person. He is
Yeah.
full on villain mode
Yeah.
around.
So I have a
Okay.
question, and this came up in the interview yesterday with Cam Smith. The Live logo. He brought two sets of clothing.
Yeah.
One with the Live logo on it, one without. He didn't know if Augusta was going to allow him to
Hmm.
wear the Live logo.
Really?
And DJ's wore his. I mean, DJ and Patrick are the same team, so that's the 4 aces. Everybody knows the 4 aces.
I don't.
No, it's a joke because someone said it was like part of their promotional gear where they're like, yeah, everyone's gonna know the 4 aces, and like nobody knows.
But he said,
But
Cam said contractually they have to wear the logo.
Yep.
But if Augusta says,
I think
hey,
it's
boys, not here.
Yeah, I think it's if
That would be
if
great.
they're
They got a different
advised,
set of rules in
I
Augusta,
know.
too.
if they're advised not to wear it, he wasn't gonna wear it.
That's how
Smart.
So I haven't heard anything as far as updates on that, but
So in this, remind me at the very beginning, was the rule we could change your lineup?
Yeah.
Oh, good, because I did. So I'm with you on the Kepka. After looking at his course history, he's missed the cut the last 2 years.
You just talked him out of that.
Yep, but I'm keeping Reed. I'm going Siwoo Kim.
okay.
Okay.
And Siwoo, just looking at his 34th, 12th, 34th. And he's coming in pretty solid form. So I'm going to go Siwoo instead of Kepka.
What's the value on Siwoo?
He is 7,400.
Okay.
Oh, so I mean,
like
it's
that.
not okay. Yeah.
What's Sanjay M finished in this the last 3 years?
Yep.
Because I looked online, he was up in that 50 to 61 to win it, and I think he plays good here too.
Yes, he does.
I would imagine it fits his game pretty well.
He has second, miscut, 8th.
He was second at the
Second,
Masters?
there you go.
Second,
That's
3.
50,
Yep.
60 to 1. That's pretty good. too.
Second, miscut, 8th. Right there. And he's had 4 sub 70 rounds. There's guys that's never shot sub 70. Like,
He plays good there.
Like-
really good.
This is which one?
I
which
won't
one
switch
is-
my
which
lineups.
is Kim?
Sung J M.
Sanjay M.
Sanjay M.
Yes. That's a good, I like that.
Lineup probably won't be switched, but
What's his value?
Sung J is 8,100.
that's
So
about
he's
right.
up
He's
there,
up there.
but
He's
yeah,
up there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's up there.
Yeah.
M.
Nobody mentioned Day. You talk about who these chalky guys are going to
Yeah,
be. Everybody's
that's
going
why
to
I
be
didn't
on
do it.
Jason Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
For the
Everybody's gonna be
listeners,
on-
again, chalky means
Everybody.
The more,
Favorites.
lineups are going to be built with these guys, and typically 30% or higher is considered kind of a chalky. So meaning
Yep.
of the entries, 30% of them have that player.
Hmm.
Sometimes chalk is good. You know, you get into certain events where
You need it.
You need the
to
chalk
be-
guy,
You need to
'cause-
have that
Yep.
guy on your squad.
Yep.
And I've been high on Day all year. I think I was joking around with you, Chuck. I said he's going to win it. He's going to win the Masters.
you
So
He's gonna win something. He's good.
Yeah, he played well. He's played well here. He was in the mix in 2019. That one jumps to mind because again, that's what I'm watching. But he has been. I've been high on him all year. So I think the chalk per se scared me off. But I'm high on him. I really like him. Gents, well, let's do final thoughts. We're running long. This is a long episode, but rightly so because it's a great week, great topic. Final thoughts heading into the Masters. Chuck, we'll start with you. You have
Sure.
any final thoughts.
Well, I think we already touched on weather, but Thursday looks like it's going to be decent. I'm not sure about Friday. And because of pairings aren't out yet, so we don't know tee times, there might be value to keep an eye on that. So, for instance, if it's Friday afternoon where the weather's supposed to change, wind's supposed to be picking up, then I would be creative to do some lineups that avoid that, where you're getting guys off early Friday. And I think that could be advantageous. I'm going to focus on course history. Who are the guys that have played really well here? And then the mutters, as we talked about. Mark, I liked your idea of taking a look at, was it PGA or what was the event that was in the rain?
PGA Championship last year.
That's probably the most recent, where these guys were all playing in it. Who performed well in that? And maybe we'll be able to identify guys that are going to stand out. Last 2 years, the winning score has been about -10, I believe. I think it's going to be a little, if weather really hits, -4, -3, -2.
You don't think it was softer conditions?
I mean, minus.
Minus.
Like minus.
Yep. Sorry.
In golf terms.
Minus. Thank you.
Minus. Yeah.
Minus 2 or 3.
Softer
No, I think
conditions on the greens. You don't think that's
maybe,
gonna?
but
That's
if it's
gonna-
raining and
that's going to be a
windy?
big deal if it's
Yeah.
not, especially if it's not windy.
I heard
They-
wind though. I
they
heard
do-
wind and rain.
The
That's
neat thing
tough.
about Augusta, and we touched on all their tricks that they have around there, and they have the sub air system underneath there. You know about this
I heard about it.
sub air system? They can monitor the amount of moisture that's actually in the greens. They can essentially just suck all the moisture out of there and try and make it as dry as possible. So maybe that's
That could
not,
help.
Yeah.
Those are my final thoughts. You guys?
Mark, do you have anything?
Yeah, my final thoughts go back to my Las Vegas wagering. I do have Cam Smith. Daniel Berger, is he in the field?
He's not.
Son of a gun.
I had Ricky Fowler. He didn't make it.
Yeah, that's the problem there. Okay.
So you're not winning that bad.
Zalatoris I've got to win. I've got Hovland. You know, none of
Victor,
us talked about Victor
Yeah.
Hovland.
He had such a good amateur showing, and I don't think he's backed it up.
His record here is
32,
really
21,
good.
and 27th.
I will eat my words.
Yep.
Never mind.
31st, 21st, 27th.
I got a little Seamus Power action. How about is this guy in the field? Lee Westwood.
No,
Ah, got it.
live guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Tony Finau. I've got a little action on
I
Finau.
like that.
Fitzpatrick. We did not talk about Fitzpatrick.
I'm scared because he just has not played well. His recent form is awful.
Did you see he tweeted a picture of the first green
The Masters of his yardage book.
yardage book?
Yeah.
with-
Yes.
and he did the same thing I do for my book at DL.
Yeah, draw the arrows on.
And then they deleted the post.
No, they
He
did
did.
not.
He did. Somebody took
Oh,
it down.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Sure.
Justin Rose has something similar on there. And it's interesting, too, because the yardage book at Augusta, they regulate much more than any other venue. Usually at any other venue, they've got like 25, 30 numbers on there.
Mhm.
Plus, they also give them the elevation change and what that does for the yardage.
Wait,
Mm,
I thought they didn't give the players books.
green maps. You
Green
can't have a
maps.
green
Oh,
map.
green map. Oh, okay.
What'd you
Okay.
get? What odds did you get Fitzpatrick at?
I got 3,300.
33 to 1.
31.
33 to 1.
1.
And then I got Justin Rose at 70 to 1.
And that's where I got Woodland like at 80 to
I
1.
like
it's
I
worth
like the Justin
$20.
Rose.
That's
I
worth
think-
it doing those guys.
Oh,
that-
yes.
That have a chance.
Rada, any final thoughts? I know you
My
can't
final
take it.
thoughts, sports, as we all know, it's hard to win titles. It is hard to win titles. And the only reason I don't have Scheffler, it's even harder to repeat. Because
Yeah.
it does not happen in sports. That's my only logic for all
Sure.
you gamblers out there.
Sure.
It's
There's
hard-
distractions here,
it's-
right?
It's
He's got
hard.
his-
It's hard to do.
He's hosting the dinner.
Yep.
Yeah, that's sound.
He's got a lot of obligations.
When's the last time someone repeated there?
Aldo?
Well,
Or no, Tiger, right?
Tiger,
In-
Tiger and Jack.
No.
2002 with Tiger. Does that
Yeah.
sound right?
Yeah, he 0102.
Did he win?
Yep.
Back to back. Yeah, man.
Think of the NFL.
Mhm.
Think of the. I
Sure.
mean, think of all sports.
Aldo's done it.
How hard it is.
I think there's only
That's
like
not
3
easy.
or 4 guys to repeat
not
that
easy. At any
Augusta.
level.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good thought right there.
It's a gambler's point.
It is.
Yeah, right. If you're trying to pick the winner, if this deal we're trying to have a team that scores a lot of points, I still like Scheffler. But I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. To win is going to be really, really hard.
And I think he's 5 or 6 to 1. I wouldn't. I would
Stay away
And
from
No,
those loads odds
right.
for somebody to go out in Vegas betting 300 and just wants one guy to win.
Yep.
I wouldn't
But-
take him.
Okay.
But
you
I
can, you
did
can
do-
bookmark that if you want.
I did do a
Listen to this now.
I did do a parlay of all the majors, and I got Scotty winning, and then of course, as you
Just
know,
won?
the U.S. Open. Yeah, he's
Oh.
winning Masters,
Scotty wins Masters.
and then I picked who was winning U.S. Open, and I got PGA Championship. And I got
Who'd
the
you
British.
pick? Who'd you pick?
So I got to go from. I did multiple of these, but I got Scotty winning Masters. I got Morikawa winning PGA. I got Jordan winning U.S. Open, and Rahm winning the British or the Open.
What kind of odds you get on something like that?
Remember I show you?
Yeah, I don't remember the odds. I remember what you're going to win, but
I'll win $120,000 when I hit it.
Beautiful. Got to do that stuff.
Yeah,
Why
that'd be
It-
fun.
why not? Exactly.
That would
Yeah.
be fun. Can you imagine how hard you're cheering for a Rom?
Oh, if it's
that
oh,
last
geez.
I'd
that
be-
last tournament.
well, we talked about this, Chuck,
You
because
could
they're
take
going to
the offer me.
offer you the buyout.
They'll offer me a buyout.
Yes.
I went in.
Yes, they would.
Would you
Absolutely.
take the buyout, Rat Eye? If you
If
went
it-
in there,
If it's half, absolutely.
you're taking it.
Out 60 grand, absolutely. Yep. If they offered that. If
And
you're
that's
three-
a legit. They offer buyouts.
They do.
they do. If you're 3
Yes.
for 3,
You're taking the buyout.
yeah.
That's what I said.
Yep. It's hard.
no.
It'd be hard.
Chuck's letting it ride.
It'd be hard. I like that about him. Yes, I like that.
I'm letting her
I like
buck.
that gambler over there.
Are they calling you? How do they know?
No, they on the app.
On the app. Oh, this.
So
okay.
we
Yeah.
follow guys that do this. I mean, I'm not big on this,
Mhm.
and they'll tweet like, "Should I or should I not?" When they get
And
into
it
that
probably would
scenario.
be 60. It might be 10.
Yeah,
But then
Yeah, they're
that,
not
then
gonna
that's,
do that. Right.
Then that's different.
That's different. I'm going to
I'd
take
still
it.
take 10.
anything in the double digits
you
of
would give
thousands.
up 110,000.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to pick a winner on the
Ron-
PGA Tour?
Yeah. I would
You'd think about 10.
I would try to get in touch with somebody that knows Ron really well.
What kind of farmer is he?
And I just want to, what's going on in his life,
How you
personal
feeling?
life.
Yes.
How's he feeling? Everything
Yeah,
normal?
Like Tom said, he's like, he was a pre-round favorite for South Carolina. And he's like, I couldn't practice all week because it was raining.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Get in touch
Yeah.
with someone that's down in Phoenix or wherever John Rahm's at. See what's the weather.
Just let her buck.
Was
Let's go.
Was there a corporate outing at Silverleaf? Like, could he not practice? I mean, what's going on?
Some
Well,
nuances.
good luck on that bet.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool doing
I got multiple of those.
I like
Wow.
that.
That's fun.
I like
Yep,
that.
that's fun.
My final thought. We'll leave you with this, but take the weekend and enjoy it because it's especially for us up here in the north with another foot of snow. I mean, enjoy it, watch it. I'm rooting for good golf.
Yep.
Everyone likes a good round of golf, some drama coming down the stretch, and the Masters never seems to disappoint. So really enjoy it. Whether you got lineups or no lineups or Vegas odds, whatever, just enjoy it and get out here and get to the Masters viewing headquarters at Sweet Shots and enjoy the weekend that way. That's going to do it for us here live from the Masters viewing headquarters in Fargo, North Dakota. Thanks all for listening. We'll catch you next time.